So good afternoon friends, here short update. Today we had very strong US data. The first one was the Nonfarm payroll, the most important number. We have 303,000 versus expected 212,000. It's extremely strong. That's pushing up the US dollar. That's a very important measure, and that's leading all the markets. If dollar up, stocks, commodities, Bitcoin, nearly every asset what's trading against or versus US dollar will go down. On the other side, we have the unemployment rate from 3.9 to down to 3.8. That's good for economy. That's pushing against the US dollar. And last not least, we had the very strong negative strong unemployment rate, 6.1. Expected was 5.9. So that's maybe a divergence that the US dollar started to move up but coming down again. Now also the dovish Fed members are very surprised. Fed's bargain, for example, is saying that's quite a strong job report, and now a lot of Fed members that are against Powell, or not against Powell, but they have another opinion versus Powell, to raise not to cut the interest rates. They start and beginning to think. For example, Fed's Kashgari raises prospect of zero rate cuts, meaning they are not going to, or is one of the Fed governors who's saying that he is for zero rate cut, and now this opinion is going to spread, and we see now every time those guys are talking, suddenly new bankers, like for example Goldman Sachs, is saying that's very surprising because they want to have interest rates cut. They are sitting in a lot of stocks in a very big bubble, so they are going, of course, to push the market, spread more news, people to buy, and to spread the news that there is no interest rate hikes, but more interest rate cuts. So be aware of that, okay? So we take a look quickly at Nasdaq first before I come down to Bitcoin. And we see here, this is my own custom indicator that works with very high precision. We see, for example, each time we reach the all-time highs of Nasdaq, then Nasdaq started to fall below this one. That was a sell signal for us. Instead, the low was until the fall of the Nasdaq. For example, each time the market went above it, this was this buy signal of the Nasdaq and so on. And now on the whole all-time high region, how Nasdaq started to struggle here to build a very, very strong support line here. And now for the first time, not for the first time, but during this year, now for the fourth time, Nasdaq fall below this long-term support line. That's the price of Nasdaq here is going back now to fill the gaps here, possibly a little bit higher to around 18,120, something like that, but we'll have very high difficulties to get off because the volume is shrinking. So last but not least, so we have here also the chart of Nvidia, and we see now the KI hype and bubble is starting also to shatter, and we see now after the last bull trap here. Now for the first time Nvidia is below this very strong support, and closing also below that. The next target of Nvidia will be at around 760, and if we come back to that line, then Nvidia we will see at around 420. Then we go quickly to gold, or first of all to dollar. And we see now after this news, at this moment we have a short period of profit taking, but broken and closed successfully about this long-term support again, and the dollar index going up to above 104.75. Once it's breaking that, we will have a very big crash then of the stock market. Gold is the only one and only keeping up again, but have struggles here to make new higher highs. Once below 2,291, it will come back to around 2,270. That will mean then the next target for gold will be at around 2,190, and if we break that level, that's the very, very strong support line, so at around 2,200. And if gold is going to break that, then we will go to the down regions back again to the 1,900, 1,850 direction. Currently Bitcoin is going to break above 67,824. If breaking that, it will go first to around 68,740, then to fill at around 69,302, and then last not least to very strong resistance at around 70 to 71k. So the plan is to us clear. If the Bitcoin rising above that level but falling down, that a clear sell signal that the bulls have no strong power here. But now, most importantly about Bitcoin, we see here, for example, we had the last pump at the beginning of March, at the end of February, the last week of February, where we had the buy signal. Then we had then a short sell signal here. We bought again Bitcoin. Then before the crash happened, the first crash or the first correction, very big sharp correction, and that's a warning sign that later on the all-time high the market would come back again to that region. We see that from here at the level we are now at around 66,600 above, Bitcoin has a lot of difficulties. Each time the market rises up, the volume coming down. So the market had very levels of precision. Last not least, we are short here already at above 73,100 something, and then we had here some corrective phases. But the most important pattern is this one, that now has been tested for the very dangerous third time, and historically based on this indicator, each time it happened we had a very, very big drop later. And we see now, as I am talking here, so the market tried to test this level. This is now based on 1 hourly time frame, where we are at this right moment here, and we see on a shorter time frame. Now each time the market is going to test that level, right? This is the first well, not strong, but I would say minor strong support resistance line. Each time Bitcoin is coming near right? Not even touching it. So the market starts to pull down very, very fast. Now it's going first of all to around 60,700 to fill that, maybe to come up a little bit and then to get down again, right? So this is on shorter time frame. The trend is only on the shorter time frame, right? So we need to see here to identify the pullbacks based on that. And once my indicator settings are higher, it starts then slowly to break that level, to test that level, and we see that also this morning. For the first time it tested these levels. At the moment it trapped the buyers and then dropped sharply to break that. So a lot of people who had then their stop losses here are wiped out. That is generating now this data. So why is this happening? The first one is well, not only scam of the Bitcoin itself, but also fundamentally we have very, very strong data. The interest rates are very high at this moment. There is no perspective, or very low perspective, about 1 to 5% maximum that interest rates cuts will happen. That will cause the prices, because the cost for debt cost for the companies is increasing. We see that the job cuts is raising. A lot of companies are quitting their employees. So in this situation, if you ask yourself, we see that also the inflation is going higher, the prices are becoming much more expensive, and the liquidity is shrinking, meaning the money you earn, you need to pay a lot of those money for less goods, right? So let's say if you would have to buy, let's a hamburger, right, a burger, and that has been costing, now the cost was around $2 or $4 5 years ago. Now you need to pay more than $10 for that, right? So meaning for the same good you need to pay much more money. So money is becoming much more expensive, and that's the reason that the liquidity is going down, because people are aware what's happening in the future. So, and liquidity is going down, there is no money anymore to put in stocks, and also no money anymore, or less money, to put that money in gold, especially in gold. And some people are talking about Bitcoin as an asset. Bitcoin is no asset, but if we say, all right, Bitcoin is an asset, right? If there is no money, if there is no liquidity, how will people have money to invest in Bitcoin? Just ask yourself, right? And this is fundamental reason that the market will go down here. And we see now, right as said, now the Nasdaq is beginning to go down. You can see here it faked the buyers, right? And on days if important news, not all news are fake, there are only a few news that are real, the economic data, because there are just facts and numbers, but all the other news you hear or read, you should be very aware of it. And the news is we just do nothing. We wait first of all, because the first move of the market is for the algos, for the algorithms, and they fake or trap. They're almost scalpers. They fake out a direction. The retail traders jump into that trade like now. And if you go now on Nasdaq chat, I will demonstrate it, but I don't tell the name of the person. There are a lot of retail traders So now you see the market is going up. For example, some traders are chanting abundance today and all days because they are long. Then there are some others. We need more figures to recognize the patterns. Market up, market down. Oh wait, shit, my stock hit. Then Nasdaq going up and down. I don't understand nothing. This time I'm going buy, deep nice momentum, and then moments later he says, every time I buy, the market goes down. Every time I sell, the market goes up. Push up now, IMO. Shit, I was wrong. I go short. Shit, it's wrong again. I go long. Shit, I lost 20%. So yeah, I don't say that's amazing, but how can I say that? That's a lack of knowledge of a lot of retail traders, and they are not guilty. They are reading books, they are watching YouTube videos, they are paying $10,000s for internet gurus who are teaching them trading. Amazing is that after all, 95% of all these people are losing again, and I am asking myself why, right? So maybe you can ask your question too. This question too, if you have a logic answer, tell me. So again, to learn trading, you don't need to pay a lot of money for that, right? So if you have that money, then give me some, I will teach you. So, okay, just a joke, right? But 99% of trading is experiencing, and that 1% that matters is using your brain, right? That's that little messy thing is between your ears, in your head, right? And that's a wonderful instrument, okay? To use that, and if you go inside your brain, you will find out that there are a lot of emotions, right? There is one emotion that has two names. The first name of this emotion is greed, and the other name of that emotion is fear. So the market comes down, fear is going up. The market goes up, greed is coming up, right? And you need to be very careful the next time you are in trading, you say, and you start to calculate how much money you will do. Let's say you are buying Bitcoin at the price of now at around 67,500, and you say, okay, that's a bullish pattern, the market goes up, and if it goes to 100,000, how much money will I take? And the next very time, if you are doing that, immediately tell yourself, stop it. Tell to your brain, stop it. Write it down on paper. Write it down on paper, put it on your desktop, on your mice, on your device. Every time you want to trade that, you should to put away that paper to see, brain, stop trading wishful. Stop it, being greedy. And there you know, if you are calculating that take profit, what is not happening now, then you are emotionally, subconsciously falling into a trap, right, of greediness. And sooner or later, if you continue with that, you will lose money, right? On the other side, if you are planning your trade and you have a very good trade plan, what I hope and I would recommend, and that trade plan needs to be improved every day. As I told you the last time, If I'm trading or backtesting my trade plans and also tradings, because I'm taking also sometimes losses, then I go always on those situations. I see, okay, was it the mistake of the system or was it my own system? Okay, so write down your emotions. How is your natural feeling today? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling positive, motivated? Have you breakfast? Is everything okay? How is your mental health, right? So I'm writing down. There are some times, for example, that there is a sign in psychology. It's called body scanner or mental scanner. For example, you are going somewhere and suddenly you have a bad feeling, maybe in your stomach, maybe your hands are becoming cold suddenly, your back. What means, if for example I'm going to take a trade and I have the back cold, that my back muscles are cold suddenly, then I know, oh, just a moment, I see something on the market, but subconsciously, my subconscious is telling, hey, wait, because you have not recognized that information. So I go back again before taking that trade and I check everything, and then I find out, okay, oh, shit, I forgot in 2 minutes these news are coming out, right? That's a very wonderful instrument because your brain is recognizing everything and every information absorbing, so it can help you. So listen also to your body, all right? So that way I wish that you have a very good and successful trading day, all right? So keep it up, put your stops, plan your trade your plan, have discipline, and if you follow this strategy, I guarantee you will succeed over time, right? Losses are our friends. If you are in loss, accept it immediately, take it out, keep your losses very, very small, and I say goodbye.